possible. They're bringing everybody they can so they can find something wrong that Jesus either said or did or is doing or has done, so they can say, haha, you see, you said it, you did it, you're wrong, so they can get rid of him, so the people will not, because now people are believing in this guy, okay? A lot of people are following him, so they are trying to figure out a way, how can we stop this Jesus man? This Jesus problem, they got this Jesus thing going on. They got this Jesus freaks running around, basically, okay? So they're going, okay, what are we going to do to stop this man called Jesus? That's our mission, because this man called Jesus is causing a lot of problem for us. Because that's what they're thinking, again, because their eyes are closed. They're the blind ones, not this man. Because they don't want to see what God's glory is. Something they've been waiting for all their life. It's in front of them. They don't want to see it. They want to shut it down immediately and keep their peace, keep their riches, keep their stature, keep whatever they have, so nothing gets moved around. Like we were having this discussion earlier, probably this father had that issue, and that he had to, they had to be shut down because he might be affecting others up here. See, the problem always comes not by, it's by our nature, by humans, by human nature. Pride, greed gets involved. The greed and the pride gets involved. When that's in there, because that's devil's, the devil's #1 tool. That's his first weapon. He uses your pride and your stature, yes, and your greed, and says, you're going to lose that. Comes and whispers in your ear. He says, are you crazy? Don't let that happen. I mean, look, you're doing God's work. You're a big religious man. Look at you. You pray every day. You do this. You're God's man. How could you let somebody come and take that away from you? Don't let that out. Don't allow that. You're God's man, not him. That guy is a phony. Don't allow that to happen. Instead of saying, well, he doesn't want to say that, of course, because, that's the whole thing. But we have to be different. We have to understand and open up our eyes with our hearts. And if we see it that way, we understand what the Lord is trying to tell us or is giving us. Because you never know who you're going to meet and who that person is in your life, in daily, in any time. Always have God's merciful stature in your mind. Think about it that way. Think what Jesus would have done if you met this person. Somebody just comes up to you out of nowhere. You know he's a bum. You don't know who it is. Whatever. He says, can you help me out? If you can't help him, if you don't, your conscience is going to eat you up. Your conscience is going to let you, why didn't you help that?
That conscience is you.
Well, God put that in there for you. That's the Holy Spirit talking to you. When you do something wrong and you feel that, the conscience is telling you, that's the Holy Spirit that, hello? What did you just do? Don't do that. That was wrong. Wake up. That's not what we're here for. We're here.
But some people, they ignore it.
Correct. That's right. That's right. The same thing is happening here. These are religious leaders. These are God's people. They're supposed to know this. These are anointed people. They're up there. They're priests.
They know the word.
They know. They know it better than everybody. They know the word. They know the Bible. They know it so well. But their heart is calloused. Their heart is rock. They don't want to feel it. See, God is love. Love is feeling. It's not a word. It's feeling. If you don't feel it, then there's no love. Love is something that you feel. You can touch it. It's in your heart. Let's continue. Verse 22. Therefore, his parents said, he is of age, ask him. So they again called the man who was blind and said to him, give God the glory. We know that this man is a sinner. So now his parents were worried See, they called the parents and they said, okay, is this your son? Yes. Was he born blind? Yes. Can he see now? Well, yeah, yes. How did it happen? We don't know. Ask him, he's of age. See, the thing is, why so short, right? Why the answering such small, short questions? Because first of all, the parents are worried. Worried because the church here, the temple, the Pharisees, the church leaders are excommunicating people out of the church. What I mean by that is, it's serious matter. What it is? Anybody. So the parents were really worried about that, because this whole thing was this. Anybody confesses that Jesus is Lord is thrown out of the temple. Not just the temple. Now you're basically thrown out of being Jewish. So for a Jewish person, you get thrown out of your own community. It's a serious matter. This is what it means. You can't pray. That means you're away from God. You're not allowed to walk in the temple. That means you can't worship God. You can't be around your relatives because you're no longer Jewish. You can't enter nobody's house. Nobody can come and visit you. You can't sell to them. You can't buy from them. You can't be in their presence. You can't be in the community. You know what that means? You're exiled. Not just excommunicated. Excommunication today, the church excommunicates you, basically throws you out of the church. Oh well, no big deal, right? In those days, big deal, serious deal. What it is? You're out from the entire, basically you're out of the country. You can't see any of your relatives, anybody. You can't do nothing. You're out. So, you see how hard they were working on stopping people from believing Jesus. They were doing you can't get more serious than this. Anybody confesses Jesus is Lord, you're out of the entire community. You know how bad that is? It's like so serious that everybody's scared, because if they didn't do that, I'll tell you today, we wouldn't have this problem. Everybody would be Christian.
Exactly the same thing is going to happen when Antichrist comes.
Of course it's going to happen again.
It's going to happen
yes.
exactly the same thing.
That's exactly the same way. But the thing is, this is when it's happening right now. It's happening during this. Jesus is there, but they are afraid. So they say, you know what? Yes, this is our son. Yes, he was blind. Yes, he can see. Well, ask him the rest of the question. We don't know. Guess why? Because he's old enough. He's not a baby. We don't have to be responsible for him. Talk to him about that. So they again called the man who was blind and said to him, give God the glory. We know that this man is a sinner. They're talking about Jesus. Then he answered and said, whether he is a sinner or not, I do not know. One thing I know, that though I was blind, now I see. What a beautiful, beautiful passage in the Bible right here. The man, this is just an ordinary man. Okay? What was I saying earlier? He was blind all his life. And now, he knows the consequences of what he's saying. He knows he's going to be thrown out of the temple and the community. He's going to be excommunicated. He doesn't care. Because he says, I have nothing to hide. I'm telling you the truth here. You're asking me, you're saying that this man is a sinner. I'm saying that I don't know if this man is a sinner or not. All I know is one thing. I was blind, now I can see. I was blind, now I can see. And he wasn't just talking about his eyes are open. His eyes are open, he could see. But also, the Holy Spirit was inside of him. The Holy Spirit has entered, and the Holy Spirit was talking for him. Because he had a boldness in his talk. In his speech, in his voice, he had a boldness. He had the truth. He had the truth. He was powerful. He stood there and he said, I don't know what you guys are calling him, but I was blind and I can see. And nobody can take your testimony away from you because it's your own testimony. Nobody else knows that you were blind and better than you. You know yourself. So now you're saying, you're testifying for your own self. That's power. So, verse 26. Then they said to him, what did he do to you? How did he open your eyes? Now they want to know how. Again, the whole idea is they're trying to figure out something that he's doing wrong or something that he did so they can use it against him. So they want to use something against Jesus, so they want to know, so how did he do it? Give us the details. We want, play by play.